This game is such a ripoff, I can't believe it's actually happening. You know, with gaming nowadays, obviously there's bits of inspiration taken from different areas. We see this all the time with Call of Duty, taking whatever's popular at the time and putting it into their game. Like, you know, in the 2010s, Timefall advanced movement was just like the cool new thing at the time, and obviously Call of Duty had to copy that. Starting with the game Advanced Warfare, they added in jetpacks, wall running, advanced movement, all that kind of stuff. We all saw where they got the inspiration from, but it's not like illegal or anything to do that. The most recent example saying like Power World, where people are just basically calling it Pokemon with guns, and for huge success back in early of 2024, the game was great, really well received, and people are loving it. Now, currently, Nintendo's not having fun with that because Nintendo is currently in the middle of suing the Power World devs because of just the various mechanics of like throwing a ball to catch a character, and there's some similar character designs in there as well, but I don't think it's anything that's like too infringing. But a game just released today, and I feel like we really need to find some way to crack down on some of this stuff because it's getting a little out of hand. Because following Black Myth Wukong's success, Nintendo's fans laugh as Switch gets a Wukong Sun Black Legend. And you have to see the cover art. Oh my god. Yep, that's the cover art right there. Not joking. This is an actual game that you can play, and this is what it looks like. Like, they're not even trying to hide it at this point. And this is on Nintendo's eShop, like an actual game that you can purchase. And also, I wouldn't be shocked if this game gets removed within a month of its releasing because of, well, I mean, literally taking the name Wukong and Black, mix those words up together in some kind of blender, and that's the kind of game that we got. It reminds me of this game that came out last year. It was widely held as like the worst game of 2023, and it was The Last Hope. And if you guys remember this game, this released on the Switch as well. Don't get me wrong, don't forget that. This is another Switch game. I mean, obviously from just on the shop itself, but like the fact that this was even made, then released, and especially for how Nintendo is so protective of their ecosystem, to have stuff like this pop up is just hilarious. I mean, totally not The Last of Us. You know, this is kind of like if they had The Last of Us at home kind of thing. It's so funny that this was even made. And then the funny thing was, eventually it did get taken down like about a month after release, and I think we're gonna get the same kind of experience with this new Wukong game. Though funny enough, I think it might actually be able to stay a little bit, just because when you look at the trailer here, is that it doesn't really copy the game exactly, right? It's a side-scrolling like 2D kind of game, right? So it's a little different, but obviously taking huge inspirations from Black Myth Wukong and then being put into like a 2D side-scrolling kind of game. So it's not exactly copying the gameplay too much of the game, but obviously there's issue with the trademark. I'm not quite sure exactly legality behind the whole thing of like, can this actually be available on the shop for people to purchase? Yeah, I just want to know who's doing like the quality assurance testing over there on the eShop for Nintendo. I don't think there even is a team for a game like this to be put onto the Switch and for people to actually go ahead and buy this. Like, this is just ridiculous that this is even a thing. But I think this is actually kind of showcasing a larger trend that's happening with gaming as a whole. I mean, this game releases just a few days after the recent reveal of Light of Mortium, if I pronounced that correctly, which is basically saying that it's a ripoff of Sony's Horizon games, which, I mean, if you look at the trailer here as well, you can kind of see some of the similarities, as in like a lot of the similarities with this, with like Horizon Zero Dawn. But the thing is, like, this one can actually get taken down because like The Last Hope, like I showcased to you guys earlier, Sony actually did move forward and get that game taken off the store and had all the trailers removed from online. The only way you can find it for people who just re-uploaded it. And I can see a similar thing happening here with Light of Mortium. Of course, it doesn't really have the same kind of gameplay. It's much more like a survival kind of game. But you're not really, it's not like an action adventure type of game like Horizon Zero Dawn is. But you can definitely tell that there was some inspiration taken from that Sony classic game now to this one. The gameplay is pretty funny to look at as well. As you see, this isn't really exactly Horizon Zero Dawn, but like you can still see like the artistic interpretation that's there. This is again a very gray area where like it could survive just fine as it is, and just saying like, hey, you just have sci-fi robot animals you have to survive against to, you know, engage with the world, because the gameplay doesn't really mimic the Horizon Zero Dawn games at all. It's just really just an art style. It's an obvious ripoff, and yet the game stands. And that's where I feel like we're gonna fall right here when it comes to this Wukong Sun Black Legend, if I remember correct, because it's not exactly the same type of gameplay or experience you would have with Black Myth Wukong, obviously, because it's a little different. But you can see the clear inspiration that they took from it. This could be just one of those things that if like people like, oh, got a late Christmas gift and they're like, oh, I want to get Black Myth Wukong, and they see this Wukong type up first, right? It uses alphabetical order for search engine optimization, right? That like you get like the wrong version of it, you'd be let down quite a bit. I think there is a little bit to take away from, because you're just taking so much from the original name of Black Myth Wukong and putting it into their rip-off game. Like IGN here put a side-by-side when it comes to the imagery of Wukong Sun Black Legend and Black Myth Wukong. Clearly, there's gonna be some similar art styles. This has to be like AI art or something wild going on with this. I can see people who are just unfamiliar with gaming news or stay in the know of everything, that they could see like, oh my gosh, right, it finally came to the Switch and it's on sale because the Black Sun or Black Legend version is selling for $7.99, which you would like, oh my gosh, you know, it is the winter time, right? Known for sales and stuff and like that to happen. People could easily mistake this if you're just like not in the know. But there's development studios out there that are ripping off plenty of games, not even the most popular games out there. For example, you know, the PvE shooter Gray Zone Warfare, which I've played out here on the channel a couple times. It's actually kind of a fun game. There's even a ripoff of this game, and it's not even that popular right now. And it's called Gray Zone Attack. Again, some more solid AI art going into this. So it's apparently has appeared on the PlayStation Store and it's set to release in 2025. I just find it so crazy that stuff like this could even happen. And the developers of Gray Zone Warfare actually responded to this, which I thought was kind of funny. Saying right here on the Insider Gaming website, saying on social media, Madfinger Games, Rick over here said that while hashtag Gray Zone Warfare brings players tactical depth and strategic thrills, Gray Zone Attack might be a little too busy attacking the idea of originality. We prefer crafting something one of a kind. Like, oh, that's a solid burn. But this time, you love to see it. I think my curiosity is getting the best of me right now, but let's go on to like the website here. Let's read the description, compare that to what Wukong's description is, and I think we'll find some similarities there. Step into the role of the immortal Wukong, the legendary Monkey King, as he battles through a chaotic world teeming with powerful monsters and untold dangers. Sounding a little familiar there. Explore a story inspired by Chinese mythology, filled with action-packed battles, stunning environments, and legendary foes. Compare that to the Steam page for Black Myth Wukong, reading, Black Myth Wukong is an action RPG rooted in Chinese mythology. You shall set out as a destined one to venture into the challenges and marvels ahead, to uncover the obscured truth beneath the veil of a glorious legend from the past. It's literally just like that meme where it's like, okay, you can copy my homework, but just don't do it exactly. Do you feel that Wukong Black Sun, Wukong Sun Black Legend, so many similarities there. Do you feel that this game has a chance to survive, or is it going to be taken off the store in a month like the Last Hope was last year? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys made this far in the video. I hope I earned your like, maybe even a subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.